All right, guys, welcome to our Stay at Home Open Mic. This is our sixth time doing this. That's right. We're getting there. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Right now, we're live on YouTube. And if you guys are watching this a little later on, thank you for finding this and tuning in. As always, I encourage you guys to participate, leave your comments, let us know what's going on. So if you guys are on YouTube with us, check out the chat and yeah, leave a little feedback. Where are you guys listening in from? When the artist perform, show some love. You can use some emojis, fire, claps, snaps. I don't think there's a snap emoji. Is there? Probably not, but you can show some love. Let people know that you're listening. Also, you can leave a comment down in the comments section. That will stay around a little longer. But always welcome. My name is Richie Marufo. I'm going to be your host. And this is brought to you by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. We are an El Paso community classic. We've been around since 2007, providing a stage for musicians, poets, thinkers, performers since 2007. And like I said, that's a lot of people. We've had thousands of performers grace the stage. And now because of this pandemic and, the encouragement to stay at home, to as a way to kind of flatten the curve and keep things kind of chilled out. We started this because people still need to express themselves, and it's been going fine. We always have a lot of really cool artists that join us, and that's all we can do, right? Ultimately, in the end, we're creating. Sometimes in times of destruction, you must create. Put a pause on things and just make sure we can breathe, and we'll breathe in all the art today. So guys, we got an awesome show. It's been going well. In fact, if you guys are on our YouTube channel, make sure you guys subscribe, like our video, share it with people. You can go back and watch past episodes. It's kind of one of the cool things about doing this on YouTube. And also one of the other cool things is we're kind of not as limited in space. So we've had people join us from outside of the city. We're located in El Paso, Texas. And we've always had people join us who live here, people who are passing through, poets who are on tour, musicians who are traveling. But this time around, someone can log in into their computer from like New York City or Chicago or Michigan or California, different time zones, but it's really cool. So today we got a pretty nice lineup of a lot of poets. We got some music as well. I'm excited. So again, show support. Let us know that you're watching on the chat. Leave your info there. I'll be watching, and if you have any questions, we'll try and get to the artists and ask them, get those answers. But we're gonna go and get started, guys. Last week we had our, to me, for as long as we've been doing this, one of the most treasured things is when someone takes the leap and goes onto the stage for the first time. It means a lot, because I think anytime, and it's hard to like go up on a mic, go up on a stage and like share a bit of yourself. So I always commend people who do this. It's not easy, especially in public. Now we're here online and this is a big stage, it's online, it's digital, anyone could be watching. And so this our first performer tonight did just that last week. She stepped up, shared a little bit of writing, a little bit of poetry. With that said, I'm gonna go and welcome our first guest today. Let's go on and welcome Aaliyah to the stage. How you doing today, Aaliyah?
I'm doing okay. Just a little nervous again, but hopefully it'll wear off when I get into the groove of it.
That's right. That's all you can do. Get into that groove. Go in and take it. Let's go and make some noise for Aaliyah.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to be reading 3 pages tonight. I'll go ahead and start with the first page. Reaching a moment of clarity, freedom, the taste, so close. Disruption rips you from your peace. Dig, it says, you quiver. Until when? It smirks. Your skin crawls, you scream. Your mouth agape, shocked, silent. You dig. Your body screams to be freed. Wide-eyed, mouth stuck in a tight line, a scream no longer emits. Your mind does the release for you, but you are bound to silence. The sound of your mother's laugh, a scream, the deep tone of disparity. How long has it been? Why? Who? him, it. Okay. So this is the second page. It was inspired by everything kind of going on right now. I wrote it the first week when everything was kind of chaos. So what if we let go of all expectation, false reality, static noise, collective fear, suffering? Watch us live, look at me, I'm alive, I did something. What was it worth? Who are you? What did it take? Who is it going to take? And ending on a good note. Get out of your head, embrace the unknown, the inconsistency of living. We are on a journey guided by something bigger. Take what you can. Do not let yourself be controlled by ego. Let it die. Death of insecurity and cycles. We are reborn. Let us laugh, smile, sigh in content. Find solace in your mind. Kiss with softness, tenderness. Send them a message. Let them see you for only a second. Be open. Do not run or hide. Embrace and then let go. You do not have to hold pain. Release it. Whisper thank you and keep going. Who or what will you meet next? Trust and be rewarded. Cool. So that's yeah. Oh, you're still muted?
Yay!
Oh,
Awesome
yeah.
job, Aaliyah.
Thanks.
I was clapping really loud, so loud I just to save everyone's ears, I kept myself muted.
Thank you
But
so much.
you guys saw it on the stream there.
Thanks.
All right, Aaliyah, do you have anything you'd like to promote, a page or anything?
I mean, as far as my Instagram goes, it's abstract Aaliyah. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat.
Right
Yeah.
on. We'll put that as well on the YouTube chat. Awesome. Keep writing. I love to see a notebook. I love the potential of a notebook filled with good words, even the bad ones, and just anything to help us get to where we're going.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, Leah. Thanks for joining us today. Oh, green screen went away. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and keep going. Yeah, like I said, I have the YouTube chat open. Leave comments, show some props to the performers. If you have any questions, I'll try and get that to them. All right, joining us, as I mentioned earlier, one of the silver linings of this whole thing is that we can have people join us from anywhere. So joining us from upstate New York, we have Rap. He's going to share some poetry with us. Let's go and make some noise and welcome him to the stage.
Can you hear me?
You are?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And I found about this event on the Facebook, ironically. And
Nice.
so it says thank you for having me on. And you can follow me on Instagram at rapper.7. That's WRAPPER.7. And rap is actually an acronym they came up with. This stands for Right to Realize Poetry. So for me, I'm a storyteller and also like to get people to think. So that's my story right there.
Nice.
And I figured like I share a poem from my book entitled Sports, which is available on Amazon. And this poem is called Love and Basketball.
Yeah.
She was a tomboy, not really cute, really tall, really skinny, really popular, cool. 10th grader varsity player and props in the hoop. Had another older brother, said he taught her to shoot. Scholarships, she was offered a few. All she got to do now is get that diploma, then a college recruit. She intelligent, talented, and confident too. Her boyfriend loved and supported her. He proud of his boo. Everything sounds sweet, kind of hard to be true. You ain't gotta get the pudding, but you gotta get the proof. Here it is. There he is. When she's down with the flu, out of the blue. For 2 days, she's not in school. vomit in her food. She needs to get a doctor's excuse. Approximately 2 o'clock in his office will do. But the note didn't say she had a stomach virus. But she did have something in her stomach hiding. She missed her class period, her last period. A new life could end her life. Is that serious? She don't want to let her coach and her team down. She don't want to lose her hopes and her dreams now. The children are the future, I do believe. But if this child has a future, she could lose degrees, and she could lose prestige, and she could lose the league. That's Love and Basketball. It's the first one. And then next one I have is called Trail Mix, which is from my book, Unapologetic Part 1, I believe, for Part 2. Yeah, I have six published books out on Amazon right now. And this one's called Trail Mix. A chocolate man raised my son. Go cash you a check. Some out with the gun, the pumpkin and buried the seeds. Eminem, one of the greatest MCs. I stay on the trail, mixing the beats, feel the energy, salty and sweet, and politics. The trails mix. See news in my feed. They force me to eat. Trail Mix. This is a short piece right there. Thank you. And let's see. There's one poem that I wrote called Poetic Heaven. This will be the last one. This is unreleased, so you guys get a glimpse of it. Last night it was dead. I fell asleep early, woke up this morning right side of the bed. The rest of the fam was asleep. I didn't want to wake them. I'm in the mood for making some music, so I hit the basement. When it comes to writing a song, I'm not as patient, more like a doctor performing an operation. This particular day, I'm hearing dope beats. The lyrics was city combination was so sweet. I'm not trying to eat, so I skip breakfast. I'm in the zone like Jordan when the clock ticks seconds. 2 songs later, this poet is getting hotter than thermometers and monitors. I'm just getting started. I hear the kids upstairs. They didn't even bother their father because they know I'm an artist. And I be working harder than most. I got a daughter that boasts. They learn a lot because they follow me close. Still early, it's 10:30. I tried to call Poetic. His phone didn't ring. I didn't leave a message. I need to keep writing, so I didn't even stress it. I finished another record. I'm in poetic heaven. Record pace, I was running through the pages of my notepad, excited, but my heart ain't even racing. Progress I was making in the best time. Working like I'm closer to my deadline. I guess that's just another day in the life of rap. Five hours of work, an hour's worth of material. Like what I'm hearing, so I'm turning up the stereo. Neighbors usually complain the noise was unbearable. But something about today was different. Everybody was doing their own thing. Can't wait to give them this shit. I'm feeling so alive. Thank God for the blessing, heart and soul of my profession. I give you poetic heaven. And now it's time to switch directions. I end the session. My young ones, usually by now, they're getting restless. I float upstairs, their faces glued to the TV. I walk to the kitchen, guests didn't even see me. I wasn't even looking for a meal anyway, kind of strange because I didn't drink or eat all day. I'm in a sound booth, standing on my feet all day. I'm dead tired now, maybe I should sleep all day. On my way to the room, I hear my lady on the phone. She moaned, crying and dying inside, feeling alone. Almost finished packing, said she gotta get going. Need a change, and she can no longer live in this home. I stand looking confused with boxes before me. I called her name 3 times. She only ignored me. She held a newspaper in her hands that read, "Local poet rap, age 30 found dead." I'm in poetic heaven. So that piece. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Thank you for sharing your words today. So you said you have books on Amazon. So before we
Yes.
get back to you really quick, I want you to tell us about that, but also tell us about, I think you're starting an open mic as well on Wednesdays. Let us know about that. So if anyone listening or
Yes.
anyone can join you on that.
Yeah. So I'll be hosting. This will be episode 2 on Wednesday. So I'll be doing them every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what time it is over in Texas. Like probably like 3-ish. I'm assuming.
We're in mountain, so it's 2 hours back. So what time
Oh,
did you say again?
So it's going to be from 6 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. So it's like
So
what,
4 to
like-
5 here.
okay, yeah. And after that, from 7:05 to 8:05 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be hosting a game night as well. So kind of in the midst of everyone being quarantined, I like to like get people's like I like to get people to like have fun as well, especially during this time where, especially like people struggling with mental health and all that. Like we need more like laughter, we need more humor in spite of like what's happening outside. Like I feel it's important for us to come together as one, whether it's through poetry, whether it's through like through games or anything like that. So if you have any questions, you can follow me on Instagram. And thank you for the platform. And I hope to see you guys on Wednesday.
Sorry, I had myself muted the whole time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because I don't want to interrupt, pretty much, you
Yeah,
know.
you good.
But that's available through your Instagram, right?
Yes.
And that's
And go ahead.
it's a rapper, WRAPPER 0.7, right?
Yes.
Okay, right on, man. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you can stick around a bit.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Let's go and give him a round of applause. Some cheers. Thanks for everyone.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Look forward to hearing the other dope artists.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Cool. So we got a pretty good list going on. I see people are still signing up. You guys still can pretty much. I've set this as like a limit till 11. I don't think we ever had to go that late, honestly. It's nice, but something I always forget to promote when I share this, or I encourage people to sign up, is we do have a little bit of a social hour, very loosely defined, some social time once the open mic finishes. It's kind of cool just to sit back, talk a little bit. It's been nice, because I'm sure many of us aren't really socializing too much, outside of social media. This is different in some way. But all right, I'm gonna keep going. Dan the Man is up fourth, according to him. I think he's hopefully checked all his poetry. Dan, are you with us? Let's see.
Yeah, loud and clear. I'm
cool,
ready.
man. You ready? All right. With that said, guys, he is a staple here at the Open Mics. Let's go make some noise and welcome Dan the Man to the stage.
All right, thank you, Richie. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody? Oh, thank you, Richie. Very nice performance. Rapper .0 what's his name? RAPEPER. How do you pronounce that name? How do you pronounce that name? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, well, anyway, a cool performance, especially Irina. Oh, how do you pronounce that name again? Irina. Cool performance. That was very nice. Okay. All right, guys. I just want to let you know I had to double check the poetry I just did just yesterday. I just finished it before I get started on my blog earlier today for Memorial Day. So, all right. Has anybody heard of my dear friend? Her name is Lizzie Martinez. She's a model, bodybuilder, fitness trainer from the Sun City Athletic Club on I-10 Artcraft near Donovan. And she's also a model as well. She's been appeared on a couple of the city magazines. And yeah, she's also a dear friend of mine, but she's also the wife of Shane Martinez, who's also a fitness training expert and bodybuilder as well. Yeah, they're both competitors. Okay. And as I hope you guys gonna like this one. It is called A Poetry to Lizzie. Yep, Poetry to Lizzie. Well, or you want to call it The Poetry to Lizzie Martinez. Okay, there it is. My friend Lizzie, shorter for Elizabeth, um, named after the Queen, a figure of strong and beauty for a swan song and grandeur duty. Uh, she's she's El Paso zone and a hometown creative for physicality, art, and beauty. One of the competitors, one of our best competitors in the borderland and the bodybuilding, showing the performance of her image of strength and magnetism, the ideally of potency, the idealism of potency, with the work with the literature of the knack of influence and beauty, mind, body, and soul. She bots the locks, not to be outfoxed, billing like a rock, walk the walk, talk the talk, always around the clock. Well, set the clock an hour back. Well, if you're in Arizona, not, or if you like the daylight savings time, not to be overpowered, according to Public Enemy, fight the power. We got to fight the powers that be. Aside from bodybuilding and model, she is also a fitness trainer. She is not alone. She is the wife of Shane. Her love is up to his reign of devotion and flame. Accord complexity to maintain according to Fort Minor. Remember the name. And Shane and Lizzie, put two words together, you get shizzy. Yeah, not Izzy or fizzy, just shizzy. According to the Poetry on Strength written by Morgan Harper Nichols, and I quote, so wear your strongest posture now and see your hardest times as more than just the times you fell, but a range of mountains you learn to climb. Yep, end quote. That's the quote, Poetry on Strength by Morgan Harper Nichols. And here's another poetry from A Pretty Woman by Robert Brown. And I quote, be its beauty, its sole duty, end quote. And Heroic Poems in Paradise of Wine by Hilary Belloc. And I quote, the wine the recorder, wine the Savary strong, wine the bright avenger of sly dealing wrong. End quote. Uh, Lizzie, my friend, you have strength, you have the beauty, you have the dedication, you have the folklore of the shape, the vigor, the proficiency, the inspiration, the goals of pursuit, the ability to make your guys that we can't believe our eyes. Yeah. And to keep up what you do best, according to Lincoln Park, leave out all the rest. Wishing you and Shane all the best. Remember the name, Shizzy, as bodybuilders, models, and fitness trainers, having the soft and tough mind with the pictures, with the picture, with the picture ski of body, and always the heart of the soul, every words that bores, and according to Idina Menzel, and slain like the Queen of Swords. See you later, Lizzie, shorter for Elizabeth, named after the Queen, a figure of strong and beauty for a swan song and granditor duty. Thank you. How is it?
Awesome, man. Good job. Hell yeah.
Thank you. All right, and I got one more. Okay, guys. This is based on the birthday poems I did for Lizzie about a couple of years back, and yeah, she really enjoyed it. Okay, and it is called Elizabeth, Lizzie, Catherine. She is the Gemini of the mutable, the emerald, meaning complete life, linking to the element air, and the lily of the valley of the liliaceae. It's because Her birthday is on the 30th day on the 5th month in the year 1990. Born and raised in an unidentified location, location unknown, due to moving around, prior to El Paso, Texas. From Franklin High School, class of 2007, to University of Texas at El Paso. And she embodies a woman full of drive for success. She is a devoted wife to her husband, Shane. Both are figured bodybuilding competitors, now professional training experts. They, and like I said, Shane and Lizzie, they're known as Shizzy. Yeah. Her favorite color, pink, resembles from a gemstone called rose quartz to a pink ribbon representing breast cancer awareness. This color reminds me of the song Pink by Aerosmith. Yeah. She symbolizes beauty, empathy, independence, depth, competitive, contentment, renewal, spiritually, delicacy, confidence, patience, complexity, flexibility, portrait, faith, friendship, and family. Lizzie, my friend, here's to another year of experience. Tell my friend Shane I said hello, hope all is well. And keep up what you do best, wishing you all the best. As a bodybuilder, competitor, fitness trainer, hope all is well. All right. How was it?
Right on, man. Continuing on with the birthday tributes. That's a Dan the Man staple. If you guys aren't familiar.
This is number 20.
Number 20.
Yeah, this is the 20th birthday tribute.
Okay, right on, man.
Mhm.
Promote your show.
You got it. That's what I always do. Okay. Well, this is the 20th birthday tribute to Lizzie after 19 long years and after more than 4 years. But yeah, I still keep it going. Okay. All right, guys. Don't forget my birthday tribute to Lizzie Martinez will be uploaded this Saturday, the day of her birthday, May 30th. Yeah. And okay, so guys, not miss it. And guess who's next on after Lizzie Martinez? I'll give you a hint. The lead singer of the Murder Police. You know who that is, right, Richie?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there we go. Okay, you guys. Thank you very much. Find me on Twitter and Instagram. Find my page on Facebook. Find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. And don't forget hashtag Dan the Man's Weekly. Thank you very much, everybody. You have a wonderful evening. Back to you, Richie.
Right on. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Dan the Man's Weekly. Appreciate you, man. He always shows lots of love to the community. And he gave a shout out right now to Emily Davis of Emily Davis and the Murder Police. Check out her music. And for as long as we've been doing these, I always tell Dan to give me a birthday tribute. What's up with that? Never does. But it's okay. I get it. You gotta smooth your way with all the ladies. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going though.
I have one last thing I forgot. If you guys want fitness training for Shane and Lizzie, check out the Sun City Athletic Club. Find it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And and tell them I sent you. And tell them I sent you.
Right on. Yeah, Dan the Man sent them your way. So we're gonna keep going. In fact, I think we're gonna switch it up, get some music. I always appreciate it when we have musicians here on the show. So we have Nini in the house. He's on Instagram at Guitar Beat. And he mentioned playing some music with a banjolele. That's right, you heard that correct. A banjolele. So let's see. I want to make sure you're with us. Tell us about that. Welcome, by the way.
Thank you. This is the first time I've done an open mic, well, in a long time, and it's interesting that like I'm doing it through Zoom. So that's a fun experiment. I wanted to plan something out, but I procrastinated. So I think what I'm gonna do is just start a beat on my iPhone and then play on top of that improvisationally with my banjolele. It'll be really short, just like a little melody that I can come up with. And yeah, let's have some fun. That's all I have to say. From El Paso. I like making music and doing art. All right. That's the ukulele song.
Nice, man. Nice. That's pretty cool. Do you have any? Yeah, you're all doing an improv. Tell us about your instrument there. You said it's a banjolele.
Yeah, it's a banjolele. It's 4 strings, just like the ukulele, tuned the same way. The only difference is that the body is a banjo. It's built like a banjo, so it has a nice poppy sound. Um, yeah, ukuleles are probably one of my most favorite instruments. And I remember one day I was like, I want to learn how to play the banjo, and I like discovered that banjoleles were a thing. And like, long story short, I bought this on eBay from some random guy, and I've had it for years. It's an amazing instrument.
Yeah. It sounded pretty good. Did you have any other pieces that you wanted to share or improvise today?
Let's see. Well, that was like one piece. I can like strum a little bit just on the banjolele itself, but yeah, I want to start making music, as like the artist name of Nini, and I think this is like a way to get me into like the uncomfortable zone of like performing in front of people and like building that like artistic confidence that I'm like trying to do. Because I'm hoping that like this summer I can make like a small EP. But yeah, I'll just strum a little bit on the banjolele. There you go. I think that's all I have today. Just starting it small. Yeah.
That's perfect. Awesome. And people can follow you on Instagram
Mhm.
under Guitar Beats, right?
Yes, at Guitar Beat. GYTAR, like guitar, and then beat, like beats. BEAT. Yeah.
That's right, man. Loved it. That's a smooth sounding instrument. I'm trying to slowly, little by little, figure out how to get better at hosting music. I'm realizing now something to Zoom is that it has these filters, these gates on it, and that might be disrupting some of the natural sound for musicians. So I'm gonna try and figure out how to maybe see if you guys can manually disable that, because I'm realizing that on a lot of the streams, when people play instruments with like a deeper sound, the noise tends to, there's like a noise gate, and that's through the Zoom software. So gonna perfect it. I think I have the option for anyone actually to turn on your original sound, and I think that might have, you might want to mess around with the settings. But I appreciate you coming on today. Hopefully you can join us for more, share any of your compositions. That's what this is for. As we saw earlier with Rap, for example, he's putting on a show. So if you guys have any shows that you guys want to promote, definitely let us know, and we'll share it through our networks. And yeah, I'm just looking at myself too on the screen. I am kind of like a ghostly ethereal image right now. I am trying a green screen for the first time. I think it's okay enough. I kind of phase in and out of existence, but don't we all? It's just physics. All right. Thank you, Nini. Thanks for joining us today. And all right, so we're going to go ahead and move on. And we have Kit Ran. Kit Ran is also a classic here at BWOMS, performing, sharing his poetry, and pretty much starting up the whole cover poetry movement here. Let's go ahead and welcome up to the stage, Kit Ran, everyone.
All right, how y'all feeling? How y'all doing? It's all right. I know you're all on mute, so I know it's cool that you're not answering. I was just back when we could still go places. A guitarist, Abe Marielena, was telling me that I am my own genre, and I don't think that's true. But I'm trying to like just take compliments instead of interrogate them. And so these are three things that are like the most me, the most like hard to classify. So three of me, and then the cover poem, as mentioned. St. Lucy helped Dante pass the lion, leopard, and wolf over a 3-day weekend in 1300. It took him about 20 years to come to terms with what he saw, but that's on him. That's not on St. Lucy. A little before Thanksgiving in 2008, St. Lucy sent me a roadside flare and a 10-line love poem given to me, in which 3 lines started with, "I hate you." I was puzzled by this betrayal. It was nothing less than a betrayal, but I focused on all my energy on not saying awful, because the thought, this is awful, registered well before the thought, this is about me. It took me 5 years to come to terms with my revelation, but I want to stress that is not the fault of St. Lucy. She had done all that she could. Some other more subtle, more by the books saint might even say that she did too much, that she exceeded her mandate. I thank her regardless. I thank St. Lucy every day. St. Lucy helps the blind, and she also helps poets. They share a common ancestor in Homer. And the wonderful thing about poetry is that the truth is always present, even in the bad ones. Unwilling, unhelpful, underdressed for the occasion, sullen, resentful, and embarrassed like a teenager at a cousin's wedding, but always present. Because every poem in the world is true, even the bad ones. All right, here's another one that's kind of a history lesson. This is, I don't title things, whatever. It's not titled. Browning and Tennyson sit side by side, both discomfited by the bearded man who smells like clay. The three of them here in New Jersey, of all places, at the bidding of a tyrannical man who says that he can keep music in a cage. It's not that Browning and Tennyson hate each other. Rather, they feel locked into a kind of staring contest. Neither can be the first one to pay a compliment. They desire, though they cannot say so out loud, to be courted. They want their opinion to matter to the other and to undermine each other's pretense. They are bone certain it is a pretense of being self-made. They don't know what to do with the unkempt autodidact to Browning's left. He has no title and no fortunate marriage. He has made a self for himself with an ease that has made you think that you can make one too. The closest thing to art that Thomas Edison made himself was a video of the electrocution of an elephant in the name of demonstrating alternating current. But it is due to him and his phonograph. And perhaps credit is also due to the martyr Topsy the elephant, that I can hear Browning, Tennyson, and Walt Whitman and the tension in that room. I can hear Robert Frost, middle-class trickster god, reading 2 poems at the same time. I can hear moonlighting insurance executive Wallace Stevens linger over every word like he's triple checking. I can hear stentorian T.S. Eliot trying so hard as he ever tried something, to hide the fact that he was born in St. Louis. It's incredibly easy to make a new self. Some people never stop doing it. It's harder to make one you're happy with. But is happiness actually the goal? Do you know what it looks like? What will you do with your happiness once you catch it? Will you feel better if I tell you that the gods of the past were thirsty and ashamed and running from their own voice, just like you? This one is so old it's new again. This was actually put in a Denton, Texas zine in 2014 called Gumbo, which there are probably like 4 or 5 copies left in the world, and I have 2 of them. But I've cleaned it up, I've edited a bit because I'm a relentless tinkerer. And this is the story of the bloody record. In Ceausescu's Romania, 1 in 3 citizens was a government spy. So if you lived in Cluj and kept to yourself, not really talking to the neighbors much, the math wasn't on your side. Think of how many neighborly disputes turned with alacrity into state-sanctioned murder. Loud music at all hours. Loud Western music, you mean? Well, yes. A man named Johann achieved peaceful silence this way, and 2 days later, he picked through the empty apartment next door for something to sell on the black market. Nothing of much value, but he was taken with a record, possibly the same record that set this into motion. H to He and the Only One by Van der Graaf Generator. Johann was feeling a bit smug and bulletproof, so he decides to give it a spin. And a violent silence was imposed on Johann 2 weeks later. The Van der Graaf Generator record makes its way from Cluj to Bucharest, and eventually to Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Odessa, as far as Krakow to the north and Sofia to the south, leaving nothing but military trucks were decimated, struck down so completely, it was as though it was a harvest. The trail of the bloody record loses its connection to the Second World during the Panjshir offenses in the 80s. Perhaps it was being weaponized. Not much research had gone into this idea, at least not much recorded research. The Soviets wouldn't have been the first army to throw something crazy at the wall and worry about laboratory testing at a later, less certain date. This all might seem fantastic, hard to believe, bordering on the impossible, but if you believe nothing else I tell you, believe this. You may remember the accounts of Osama bin Laden's lair, the accounts of the pornographic magazines and DVDs, the unreasonably large supplies of Nestle chocolate, the refusal of the man who declared unconditional cultural war on the West to pick a side between Coke and Pepsi. But you do not remember this, because you were not told this, because there is no explanation for what SEAL Team 6 found when they burst into a barricaded room and found the terrorist mastermind sitting in a beanbag chair wearing square headphones connected to a dusty turntable by a coiled wire, which would have resembled a telephone cord if there were such a thing in 2011, rocking out, as it were. And spinning on that turntable was H to He and the Only One, the 3rd studio album by the British progressive rock band Van der Graaf Generator. What survives a war? We don't know. We don't get to pick. We're lucky if we even notice. Okay, and All right. And now the cover poem. Since it's Memorial Day, I'm going to pick something suitably depressing. This is Memorial Day for the War Dead by Yehuda Amichai. Memorial Day for the War Dead. Add now the grief of all your losses to their grief, even of a woman that has left you. Mix sorrow with sorrow like time-saving history, which stacks holiday and sacrifice and mourning on one day for easy, convenient memory. Oh, sweet world soaked like bread in sweet milk for the terrible toothless God. Behind all this, some great happiness is hiding. No use to weep inside and to scream outside. Behind all this, perhaps some great happiness is hiding. Memorial Day. Bitter Salt is dressed up as a little girl with flowers. The streets are cordoned off with ropes for the marching together of the living and the dead. Children with the grief not their own march slowly like stepping over broken glass. The flautist's mouth will stay like that for many days. A dead soldier swims above little heads with the swimming movements of the dead, with the ancient error the dead have about the place of the living water. A flag loses contact with reality and flies off. A shop window is decorated with dresses of beautiful women in blue and white, and everything in 3 languages, Hebrew, Arabic, and death. A great and royal animal is dying all through the night under the jasmine tree with a constant stare at the world. A man whose son died in the war walks in the street like a woman with a dead embryo in her womb. Behind all this, some great happiness is hiding. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, there you go. Kit Ren, everyone. And also, yeah, happy Memorial's Day. Thanks for reminding me about that. And Kit also just reminded me that something I've been doing, if you don't already follow us on Instagram at the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, or our handle is El Paso BWOMS. If you follow us, we're trying to, in order to promote these online mics, I've been sharing little segments of some people's pieces. I can't get everyone on there, but I'm going to try and get little features here and there. So we recently posted Kit from last week when he shared some sci-fi pieces, and I always appreciate that you come out with some new content. So thank you, Kit, once again for joining us and always joining us.
I'm running out, man. I'm running out.
That's good. Yeah, I know. Same here. So I want to thank everyone who's joining us here on the Zoom chat, and also want to thank everyone who has been joining us on YouTube Live. Shout out to our viewers on YouTube, Marcella, James, Sandy. I know Sandy's been here a couple of weeks already supporting. James, we have Patty in the house. I saw Nico right now leave a comment. And yeah, I don't think I've missed anyone, but thank you guys for joining us again. If you're on the chat watching, let us know that you're here. If you're listening from anywhere else as well, let us know. All right, so we're gonna go and keep on going with the open mic, guys. Let's see. Next up, we have some music, some handpan from Jacob Myers. Jacob, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. So, are you recording on your phone or laptop? Just out of curiosity.
I'm on a laptop.
Laptop? Okay, I'm just curious for like the whole music thing. Do you see an option to turn on original sound for you on your screen anywhere? Possibly on the top of your video? Let's see, possibly. And the only reason I'm asking is something I thought of earlier is that Zoom has the software kind of has technology that limits certain sounds. The idea is to eliminate table bumps, like these little sounds that you hear in people's houses and rooms, things going on. So I've realized that I have that set on default, just to kind of maybe help things sound a little smoother. But I've noticed that when musicians play, it does kind of influence the sound a little bit, like it cuts off. So I'm curious to see if I think I gave you guys the option to to use your own original sound. Maybe we can try that.
I don't see it anywhere.
Mm. Okay, well we'll figure it out later. Either way, though, the handpan instrument you have there's a really cool instrument. It's shaped like a UFO, and it truly is out of this world. Go and do your thing. Go and do your thing, man. Everyone, this is Jacob Myers.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, right on, man. That's what's up. Jacob Myers, everyone, with the handpan, making some music, making some magic, very smoothing sounds. I always compare it to something that's ethereal, dreamlike, and it's so soothing. I think, and Sandy on the chat agrees with me. She says it's very soothing. Sandy Torres over here. Shout out to Aaron O'Donnell from Las Cruces. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let's see, who do we have next? Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, we're the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, an El Paso Community Classic, and this is the Stay at Home Open Mic Series. We're gonna go ahead and continue on. We have a few more performers left. We do have some space open, so if you guys are in the chat watching us, let us know. We can get you into the meeting, and if you want to share anything, please feel free to do so. Other than that, we're gonna be doing these on Mondays for a good little while, just to have so people can have an outlet, pretty much. All right, so Jacob, that was really cool, man. Very percussive, melodic. I actually, once you started going to the open mics, I realized how conducive that sound is. The rhythmic tapping and just like the resonance that comes from the bell, from the what do you call it? Yeah, from the instrument. I think it's pretty it allows creativity a little bit. So I like to write to that. So on YouTube, I'll put on some hand pan music to do some writing sessions. It helps kind of get that stuff out of there. So that's the hand pan. And that is Jacob Myers. Appreciate you for joining us. Next up, we have someone who was very instrumental to the Barbed Wire Open Mic still being around these days. I mentioned earlier that the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series is located in El Paso, Texas. We are also part of a literary nonprofit called Border Senses. And one of the co-founders is in the chat here with us. He's been coming and sharing some stuff as well. We also collaborate on a website together called Life in the Time, where people can submit music, stories, audio, visuals of their time during quarantine. And with that said, let's go ahead and welcome Amit to the chat.
How's it going, guys? So yeah, I was kind of not sure I was going to sign up today. I didn't know whether I was ready to read anything, but about 7:30 I decided might as well. Haven't been out for 3 days now, so it gets kind of difficult, but I guess we're all in the same situation. So yeah, as Richie was mentioning, I would like to repeat that before I say anything, which is, besides working on the Barbed Wire with Richie, I mean, he and Roberto are really the folks who have carried the mantle for the last decade or so, I think, or over. And Richie's energy. Everybody shout out to Richie. But we have also started a new project where we are collecting stories, music. This handpan would be perfect if this gentleman wants to contribute, or anybody else. The project is called lifeinthetime.com, and we are collecting stories, ideas during the coronavirus lockdown time. So we'll see what that means, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, having said that, I'm going to read some poems of mine, and then I'll read a cover poem following Kit. I said, why not? If Kit can do it, so can I, right?
It's a movement.
It's a movement. So here there are two poems. I don't know how to do this. Okay, I'll read. This is the one. I don't know. Call it a border title. I don't know. The title is not important. But at a time like this, I think one of the things that we all are challenged by is how to keep ourselves sane and kind of grounded. And the grounding now has to be within our own space and not so much somebody else's space, not the border, not the police. I mean, all of those things are important in some ways, I guess, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to manage all that, right? So here's a poem I wrote, I think a while back, I don't know when, but I just found this. It goes like this. What is your mouth? A border for words to spill out or stay in? What is your mind? A border for thoughts to swim in or sink out? What is your heart? A border for feelings to drench you or make you dry? What is a door? A border to stay in or walk out? What is a street? A border to stop or to explore? What is a neighborhood? A border between things familiar and not. What is a city? A border between the place we live and we don't. And what is a border? A limit to keep us to be within ourselves. So that's the first one. Here is the second one. It's called American Dream. Every Friday, sharply at 4, came the elote man. I only saw him a few times. He was old and slender. What I remember is his voice. Elote. Elote. This varied noise, this varied sound made him like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, and his flocks came after him. Elote in a cup, elote con limon, elote as a stock, elote any which way. Elote was his way to secure his American dream. He only spoke in the language he knew, but his idea was steadfast. Years later, I ran into a neighbor who told me that the elote man has a store now set up on Alameda, a little tienda that sells elotes and Mexican candies. My neighbor who told me cursed at his own situation, jobless for months. Not easy to find work these days, he says. These damn Mexicans, they take all our jobs. Doing some random stuff, keeping safe. He's trying to find his own American dream. Thank you. Okay, this I wrote literally half an hour ago, but the idea was floating in my head for a while. This is the pro and the con that we are experiencing in our society, whether we should be understanding the nature of the problem, how serious it is, or whether we should be putting everything to the side and going back to our daily lives. We don't know the answer to that, but here are two points of view. Don't make me wear a mask. It's almost like a gun and a masket. You think it's a cask? I'd rather be in a casket. All this virus, social distancing, stupid things like contact spread tracing. We live in a land of the free. Let me figure out what's good for me. The TV tells me they might be carrying a virus. Life may go down or also rises. You can't lock me and throw away the keys. Let me feel the summer breeze. I'd rather die than not live. Get away from here and let me be. And that's the response to this. We are attacked by a virus invisible. Staying together will keep us indivisible. It spreads quickly and by contact. Protecting us will keep us intact. It attacks the lungs and other organs. Staying safe is the only bargain. No one has an answer to this disease. Just keeping distance will help it cease. If you think we're all enjoying this, you are not sure of the problem thesis. Until a vaccine arrives, by staying away, we can thrive. Thank you. And now the cover poem. This is from Tracy K. Smith, who was at UTEP recently. She was the poet laureate of the United States, and she was in UTEP in, I think, January, end of January, where she read with Andrea Cote, who's one of the UTEP professors. This is from one of her poems, and I just chose this one to read. The largeless we can't see. When our laughter skids across the floor like beads yanked from some girl's throat, what waits where the laughter gathers? And later, when our sawtooth breaths lay us down on a bed of leaves, what feeds with ceaseless focus on the leaves? It's solid, yet permeable like a mood. Like God, it has no face. Like lust, it flickers on without a prick of guilt. We move in and out of rooms, leaving our dust, our voices pooled on sills. We hurry from door to door in a downpour of days. Old trees inch up, their trunks thick with new rings. All that we see grows into the ground, and we all live blind to lean its deathless heft to our ears and sings. Thank you. Again, one last thing, if you guys can be kind enough to consider submitting to Life in the Time, will be very appreciative. Thank you, Richie, and everybody for listening.
Right on, yeah. Thank you, Amit. Thanks for sharing that, and Kit for starting that culture of the cover poem. I'm gonna definitely read a cover poem or two later. And yeah, as he pointed out as well, that the professor Andrea Cote, she did the translation, right, for the Spanish version
Yeah.
of Tracy Smith's work, latest collection. So yeah, I always love it. Literary world, that's where we're at. You know, all you poets listening right now, we need you in here. We need you. Share your work, your words, because you know it's for everyone. It's for you. And check out Life in the Time, as Ahmed mentioned as well. It's very simple, www.lifeinthetime.com. Just check out the website. We already have a lot of people that have submitted. We have writing, we have photography, video, so a little bit of music, and of course the most important thing is that you can submit your stuff as well, and get your stuff out there. We have a pretty big audience, and in fact it's global. We do have people submitting from all over the world. You know, notably we've had submissions from Calcutta and from Palestine, a couple of places like Canada, a bunch of submissions from Mexico. So it's really cool. Check it out, lifeinthetime.com. It feels like a commercial now. Sponsored by lifeinthetime.com.
There you
And
go.
we look forward to hearing your reading your submissions, honestly. And of course, thank you, Amit, for sharing that work. All right, we're gonna go and continue. In fact, we're gonna head up into some music. We have Tommy Joe in the house joining us. He's gonna, I think, play a couple songs for us. Tommy, how you doing today?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm excellent. I'm now that I'm here with all of you guys.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot better playing in person with you, Richie, because you're such a good sound tech.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I wish I could go and like figure it out on everyone's screens, but we'll make do with what we have. All right, man. So let's go and make some noise and welcome Tommy to the stage.
I was listening to some mashups, and I kind of came up with my own, so I hope you guys like it. Destapa el champán, apaga las luces, dejamos encendidas y afuera las heridas. Que no pienses más, que no has tropezado. Llegamos que chequen encendidas. y acuerdo por urbanos encontrado. Puedo mirar el cielo, besar tus manos, sentir tu cuerpo, decir tu nombre. Las caricias serán la brisa, viva el fuego, nuestro amor, nuestro amor. 'Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love it and let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love it and let her go. Let her go. Arizona sky burning in your eyes. Look at me and babe, wanna catch on fire. It's buried in my soul like California gold. You found the light in me that I couldn't find. Puedo mirar el cielo, besar tus manos, sentir tu cuerpo, decir tu nombre. Las caricias serán la brisa, viva el fuego, nuestro amor, nuestro amor. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make the dream last. These dreams come slow, they go so fast. See it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely does. So I'm all choked up and I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. When you look at me and the whole world fades, I'll always remember us this way. All right, Richie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. You got some love on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Aaron and Sandy, for your comments there. Again, thank you for everyone listening on YouTube. We have a couple more performers left. And of course, more importantly, thank you, Tommy. Good to have you back. Hopefully, you know, once in the near future, things start to slowly get back in the normal in terms of events, we'll see you out at one of our open mics and as well as the rest of you guys. But right now, we're just practicing, sharpening our craft, creating community. You know, share your links. We'll share it on our social media. If you guys have stuff you want to promote that you want to share, let us know so we can get the word out there. This is, after all, a platform for everyone. All right. And next up, we have a native El Pasoan, you know, one of my good friends. We go all the way back in school. She's a comedian. She's an actress. She's currently doing her thing up in LA, but I think because of quarantine, she's here in El Paso. We have Jenny Robbins in the house. Guys, let's go and make some noise. Welcome Jenny to the page.
Hey guys. Okay, cool. Coming to you live from my childhood bedroom.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, so you called it, Richie. I am in El Paso in my childhood bedroom after quarantine. So I came down to El Paso just to visit my mom for spring break. But then quarantine happened, and now I have been stuck here for 2 months. It is a thing being this age after being an adult in LA and then like coming back to living at home with my parents. Like you start seeing things differently. I have gained so much. I've like just been fighting the weight gain being back here because I come visit my parents all the time, and every time I come, it's always like that spoiled time. But now I'm just like here permanently. So every day she's been just my mom like, Jenny, I made your favorite today, tacos. I know you love them, but I made you 15 tacos. Oh, you don't want to eat all 15 of them. No, I only spent hours upon hours laboring making your favorite meal, but no, it's okay. I'll just throw them away. It's fine. And so then 15 tacos later, then now I got diagnosed with IBS when I was younger, and I moved away and I started living on my own. Went away, came back. It's just my mom. Like it's just my mom. Like that's just like my stomach is hurting all the time. Like all the time because it's El Paso, so we got like the Texas, we got the Mexican, so just like tacos fried with cheese on top, which means that I am either just constipated or full on the squirts, like either just one or the other. It's either the squirts or just Michigan Dam trying to hold it up, and then no, that's me. I think there is I think Satan is raping a dragon inside of my bowels at all times while I'm here in El Paso. And if you don't know what that feels like, you can just imagine whatever it is. That's exactly what it feels like. And she's the worst too. I think my mom like works for for McDonald's. Like she upsells it all the time. Like we'll be going through the drive-through because that's all you can get right now. They're quarantine. She'll like turn over and just, Jenny, do you want to supersize your meal? You know, it is only 32 cents. And I have 32 cents right here. It would just go to waste. If you say no, I'm just gonna. But okay, we'll supersize. And do you want a milkshake? Because, well, before you answer, I want you to know that I also want a milkshake, but I'll only get one if you get one too, so that I don't feel guilty and ashamed afterwards. So, do you want a milkshake? Hmm? And then that's it. Then I'm sick all over again. I'm just watching my parents. I have a thing. I feel like I'm gonna end up being single forever, just dying alone. When I was growing up, my mom used to tell me to marry for love. But now that I've gotten older, she just tells me to marry for money. And it's always like while looking at my dad too. Like she'll just stare at him from across the counter. Look at him. He used to be so handsome. So handsome. And now he's just fat and lazy. He didn't smell like that when I married him. He didn't. Not when I married him. Not when I married him. And this is what happens, Jenny. So you marry for money. At least then they'll help you. Meanwhile, my dad is just sitting there eating Cheerios, trying to ignore what's going on. So yeah. Yes, I know. Let's see, but it has definitely been different being back home and just kind of seeing everything all over again. I think that's why. I was thinking that my mom just constantly always with like the milkshake. I'm pretty sure my mom 8 children in the past life. I think she just kept a gingerbread house and lured children in. Just so we've got goodies and milkshakes and tacos. Come on over. yeah, I think that's I might wrap up there. That's some of the stuff I'm working on. So if you guys like it, if you don't like it, feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. I'm working on the stuff and appreciate that with Mike. Thanks so much, Richie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Jenny Robbins, everyone appreciates you. Can you really tell? So we had actually had some performers drop out, so we have a little bit of extra time today. How is comedy right now during quarantine, during this pandemic? Like, obviously, you know, how's that been for you?
It's been this. It's been dealing with oh, look at you, JMO, like a champ, Richie. Like a champ. Look at that. What is that was a big old stick. Look at Kit's in the window listening up. All right, I see you,
Our
man.
fearless leader.
Hey, that's supposed to be off the stream. You called it out, so you called it off. So cheers, everyone.
Oh, cheers, everyone. Cheers. Behind.
Cheers.
No, yeah, it's been a trip, man. It's been different doing this format. Not having a mic and a stage has been unique, but I'm actually enjoying the fact that I can like kind of play with you guys and like come in and pull out and do things like that in comedy. There's a lot of virtual mics. That's what I'm actually prepping for. Is I got one on Wednesday coming up. So with some of those LA connections, so everybody's kind of been jumping on just getting these like creative venues out there. Starting to learn how to play with Adobe and video more now. So that's something I look forward to.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I've realized that a lot of people are getting more into digital media, obviously, diving into it, learning all this software and equipment. So appreciate having you here. It's good. It's always good, and we're always happy when you get to perform on stage when you're back home.
Can't wait. I can't wait, Richie. Can't wait to be back on BWOMS stage. BWOMS. Love BWOMS, Richie.
Awesome, Jenny. All right, you have a good night. Thank you for joining us, and we're gonna go ahead
Bye,
and
Jenny.
yeah, Dan, that's what's up.
I'm sorry. Hey Jenny, can I get you that video birthday shout out after the show, please?
Yeah, after the show, if possible, please. All right, yeah. Dan loves to. So this is cool. This is like when we do our live shows. Dan the man, he always does the birthday tributes and shout outs. And during the open mic, you can usually be insured to be tapped on to film one. So yeah, we actually have we did have some people not join us today. It happens for these open mics. You know, some people get busy or you know, things happen. So it's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. I do have a couple poems I'm gonna share. I'm gonna start with the cover poem. And this is from my friend. Well, I just met him recently, but we read his book of poetry. It came out in 2018, and it's a book called Citizen Illegal by Jose Olivares. He's out of Chicago. His parents are immigrants from Mexico, so he's Mexican American, and a lot of themes kind of deal with growing up with that in Chicago, and a lot of great poems in here. He's a really cool guy, very charismatic. If you ever have a chance to see him read, I'm gonna read one of his poems from this book. It's called "I Loved the World, So I Married It." I loved the world, so I married it. Music. Even on the day my grandma died, there were mangos, though I tasted nothing. But slowly I came back to the world in carne asada, better than I remembered, smoke off the meat. I could not contain my happiness, even though it felt offensive to smile with my grandma buried and getting eaten by the flowers. And sometimes I look at my love and think I would like to stay to put a welcome mat on our doorstep with our names hyphenated. When I was young, I believed in forever. Then my uncle died, and I knew forever included none of my family, included no friends, their stories rotting in my head until I lose them again. So I know I will divorce the world and let it keep my most treasured possessions, a 6-piece with lemon pepper and mild sauce on, all the honey of a slow kiss, my Apple Music playlists, the way my abuelita smiled and called me Lupito, I hated that name, except when she said it. All right, so that's from Jose Olivares' book, Citizen Illegal. You should check it out. It's from Haymarket Press. Sorry, I'm terrible at putting this up on the screen. Especially, oh, that's cool. The the green screen is working. All right, yeah, but check that out. That's Haymarket Press, Haymarket Books. Those guys are really cool as well. He also is an editor and publisher of this anthology of poets called Latin Next, the Breakbeat Poets, Volume 4, Latin Next. This is jam-packed with all sorts of poets from around the world. Really cool collection. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end with a piece or two of mine. Let's see. Technology. These are pieces I never really get used to. I never really read when I was out and about in the open mic scene. Mostly when I host my own open mics, I never perform. Mostly because the list is full, and I feel like if I perform, that takes away from somebody else's time. So I usually step back and don't have the chance to share some stuff. But I guess with this open format, it's a little easier to do so. If anyone wants to perform, go ahead and let me know in the chat. If not, we'll be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Savings Time. Here, exact same time on our YouTube. This is a piece inspired by merengue. Okay. If Melquiades were a merengue musician, what kind of chord progressions would he throw down and leave to be deciphered in the dance steps of lovers? Hand to waist, eye to eye, hips in sync to that 2/4 beat. Would he take a split second during a rest to gaze beyond the bell of his horn and come to focus his gaze on the spinning top tipsy-turvy dance of that couple? Would Trujillo embrace merengue so freely if he had known of its African lineage? Play away, Melquiades, play away. All right, that's a pretty simple, straightforward one. Pretty short. I'll go and read one more. I don't think I've read this one yet here. It's called, what is it called? Oh, Juxtaposition. And so I like playing around with the idea of beginnings and endings being essentially a loop. And looking at relationships this way. And it's also inspired by a quote from one of my inspirations, one of my favorite poets, but who goes by Guante. And he has a line in there in a larger piece. I can't remember what it's called, but it's, if we were frozen in time, alien archaeologists would mistake us for lovers. And so I like this concept of, the amber of a moment. If all of a sudden time froze, who's that one person that maybe you just connect with? Maybe you aren't lovers, but maybe you have that connection. And so this poem is Juxtaposition, and it is about relationships in the past. Beginnings and endings are mirror images, and sometimes I just lose track of the difference. I have found home in the secret passageways of stories and their shadows. Let us be silent now and listen to everything in between. I spit truth for truth's sake. Everything else is simply the poetry of that physics. I know you and I love you. Let's call that knowledge. You see, the corners of your mouth are brilliant. I know, because I've been awake to feel the glow from the first break of light, from the first minutes of a new day. I know because I've felt the way our bodies evolve into softer creatures of compassion, dust of this earth settled in our skin. I know because I know because I know because there's a devious geometry to be found in the fault lines of your lover's lips. It's a tremulous tectonics that unsettle in the tremendous basins of butterfly barns. Our planetary expressions painted once more from the interstellar dust that dances in the furnace of our hearts. Joy. It's a desire for exploration. Gravity's infatuation with the spectacular has led us to this. 800,000 years later, some scientists unearthed a fragment of your finger bone, but not once did they ever consider your capacity to be a lover. All right. So that's my last one. Thank you guys. It's called Juxtaposition. And now that I remember, this poem actually started, it was inspired by an article I had read about some of our like the earliest, some of our earliest ancestors. And they had discovered, it just made me think of like later on in the future, right? Again, alien archaeologists, like how would they take our remains, especially someone that you loved, you know, that wouldn't be their first thought, they were like, this is a window to an earlier civilization, but this person here is someone that I loved, this fragment of their finger bone. Anyway, that's beginnings, endings, juxtaposition, stay at home open mic. I want to thank you guys. Is there anyone here? Let's see. I don't think we have anyone else. I see Carlos Monson is in the chat. I don't know if did you want to sign up? I'm looking here at the chat, seeing if anybody else wants to go on before I officially sign off. Any last minute words for Carlos? Hey, how's it going? Are you here just to watch, or did you want to share something? Oh wait, hold on, you're on mute. Wait, no, you're not. Okay, go ahead. Okay, there you are. Oh, I'm not hearing you. Okay, I think that's you. No?
You guys,
there you are. I think
Okay.
I heard you.
okay. No, I'm just here to watch you guys. I don't have anything prepared. Hopefully I can contribute next time. I like poetry and I like music, and next time I'll perform something for you guys. But excellent. This is a very good platform. I found you guys on Instagram, so
Cool.
and then I can see some familiar faces. I can see Amit Ghosh, professor from UTEP. And
Yeah.
never took a class from you, but my wife did. And then I can see somebody else. Jenny, I think I saw her on Instagram. So it's nice to see familiar faces. So it's a good platform. Thank you guys.
Okay. Yeah, man. Thanks for that. I'm glad we got through. That always looks awkward on the stream when like is that working? Is that working? Is that working? But thanks for sharing that. And yeah, hopefully you can join us. We'll be back next Monday. We plan to start around 8 p.m. Mountain time. So if you guys are listening from another coast, keep that in mind. Usually like a 10 or 15-minute window before we actually start, but that way so people can get situated, comfortable. And yeah, work on your stuff for next week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in for the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. We'll see you next time. My name is Richie Marrufo. You can find me on Instagram under Dead Wall Reveries, which is a literary reference. Shout out to anyone who can name it. Dead Wall Reveries. You can find me there. But I'll see you guys next time for the Barbed Wire Open Mic series. Stay at home open mic. Peace. Let's go ahead and end this thing. And then we can